In 2012, Desmond Miles is an ordinary guy leading an ordinary life, until he's kidnapped and brought to the headquarters of the mysterious Abstergo Industries. Inside the facility, Desmond is forced to use a machine called the Animus, which allows a person to access their genetic memories, reliving the lives of their ancestors. Turns out Abstergo is the modern-day face of the tyrannical Knights Templar, and Desmond is the descendant of a long line of assassins charged with fighting against the Templars and defending ideals of human free will. The Templars need Desmond's mind to access the past and find ancient artifacts known as Pieces of Eden. Their goal? To discover clues to the locations of the Pieces of Eden, which should finally allow them to achieve world harmony through subjugation. Using the Animus, the Templars sent Desmond's consciousness back to the 12th century. In the aftermath of the Third Crusade, the Assassins and Templars are at war. They clash over the city of Masyaf and a piece of Eden object known as an apple with the ability to control the minds of men. Desmond's assassin ancestor, Altair, is sent to obtain the apple in Solomon's tomb, but violates key tenets of the assassin order and fails his task. Disgraced, Altair is sent on a mission of redemption by his master, avaliem, and is tasked with killing 9 corrupt individuals across the land. Altair eliminates his targets one by one, slowly realizing that they are all high-ranking Templar agents. Falling to Altair, Robert, the leader of the Knights Templars, confesses that there are actually 10 Templars in the know. The 10th is avaliem himself, who, wanting control of the apple, tricked Altair into searching for it. Betrayed, Altair returns to Masyaf to discover that his fellow assassins have been enslaved. Avaliem uses the apple in an attempt to bring the known world under his control. Altair, immune to the apple's effects, confronts and kills his master. Altair retrieves the apple and is shown the location of 28 pieces of Eden scattered around the world. This is the memory Abstergo is looking for. With his master dead, Altair assumes control of his Brotherhood of Assassins and starts a family while expanding the reach of his order. Returning to Masyaf after a long absence, Altair discovers his rival Abbas has seized control of the Assassin Order. Fueled by rage, Altair lashes out against Abbas with the apple, accidentally killing his wife. Crushed by his own aggression, Altair goes into exile. Decades later, an elderly Altair returns to Masyaf once more, determined to liberate his people from Abbas's control. This time, Altair kills Abbas, takes control of Masyaf, and builds a library deep beneath his city. The keys to the library are sent to a distant land, and Altair seals himself inside along with the Apple of Eden and a final message for his heirs. Back at Abstergo, Desmond is brought out of the Animus and determined to be of no more use to the Templars. Lucy Stillman, an undercover assassin posing as an Abstergo scientist, frees Desmond, sparing his life. She tells Desmond about a bleeding effect that will allow him to learn his ancestors' powers. Using Altair's eagle vision, Desmond discovers some crazy messages from previous captive Subject 16 written in blood all over the walls, foretelling the end of the world in 2012. Whoa. Escaping Abstergo, Desmond and Lucy link up with 2 other assassins, Sean and Rebecca. The crew convinces Desmond to use their new Animus 2.0 to relive the memories of another ancestral assassin and obtain skills through the bleeding effect in 2012. Desmond agrees and is zapped to Renaissance Italy, the 15th century, home to assassin Ezio Auditore, a lover and a fighter. When Ezio's father and brothers are falsely accused of a crime and publicly executed, Ezio vows revenge. On his quest to vindicate his family, Ezio uncovers a Templar conspiracy involving the Vatican. With the help of his uncle Mario, Leonardo da Vinci, and Niccolo Machiavelli, Ezio identifies the conspirators, all linked to the wealthy Spanish Borgia family, and assassinates them one by one. During the resulting battles across Europe, Ezio acquires another Apple of Eden, crossing paths with Templar leader Rodrigo Borgia. Through some especially bloody political maneuvering, Rodrigo is declared Pope Alexander VI in an attempt to lead the Templars to a fabled vault hidden in Vatican City. Ezio and his allies discover Rodrigo controls a piece of Eden known as the Staff, which is pretty much just what it sounds like. Ezio then travels to Rome, fistfights the Pope, and takes the Staff. Using his apple and the Staff, Ezio enters the vault. His entry triggers a holographic recording from Minerva, a member of the first civilization, which was a far more advanced society that existed along with humans on Earth. Back then, some type of global catastrophe nearly wiped out all life on Earth. Minerva, speaking through Ezio's memories directly to Desmond, warns of another impending doom. Desmond and Ezio's minds are blown. Back in 2012, Desmond is yanked from the Animus by his allies, who are forced to flee their safe house with the Templars hot on their heels. The new goal: find Ezio's Apple of Eden and more evidence of Minerva's prophecy. But where to look? In the aftermath of Pope versus Assassin, Ezio flees Rome. Rodrigo's son, Cesare Borgia, declares open war on the assassins, and fueled by the French forces of the Baron de Valois, mounts an all-out assault on Ezio's headquarters. The siege scatters the assassin forces, claims the life of Ezio's uncle, and brings the apple back under Templar control. Forced to rebuild the Brotherhood, Ezio brings in new alliances and acquires intel on Cesare and his allies. Piece by piece, man by man, Ezio kills Cesare's powerful allies, Juan Borgia and the Baron de Valois, stripping the power-hungry Templar of his military and financial resources. Family drama unfolds, and Cesare is ultimately arrested when he tries to take Rome by force. With the apple secured again, Ezio places it in the Roman Colosseum, its intended final resting place. Watching through the Animus, Desmond figures out where to go. He acquires the apple in a labyrinth beneath the Colosseum and receives another First Civilization message. Juno reiterates Minerva's warning and goes a step further, possessing Desmond and forcing him to kill Lucy, who it turns out is a Templar double agent. Overwhelmed by the ancient energy and his prolonged stay in the Animus, Desmond collapses into a coma, seemingly lost forever. With Lucy dead and Desmond in a coma, a senior member of the Assassin Order steps out of the shadows. Desmond's father, William Miles, teams up with Rebecca and Sean to recover his son's mind. William hopes that by sending Desmond back into the Animus, they can pull him out of his coma. Within the Animus, Desmond meets Subject 16, the bloody finger painter from Abstergo. 16 tells Desmond to revisit the twilight years of Ezio and Altair, and that only by separating the two in his mind will he wake up from his coma. Desmond learns that he isn't the first to pursue the memories of his ancestors. Ezio did as well. As a young Suleiman the Wise enters a power struggle with his uncles, Ahmet and Selim, Ezio journeys to Constantinople, tracking down the keys to Altair's lair amidst the turmoil. Ezio discovers the decayed body of Altair and realizes that he is being used as a conduit through time. He addresses Desmond directly, creating a link back to reality. Jupiter, a third member of the First Civilization, appears in Desmond's coma to provide a final warning. The end of the world is nigh. A solar flare will eradicate modern civilization much as it did the first civilization. After the fall, Minerva, Juno, Jupiter, and other godlike beings interbred with the human survivors in an attempt to repopulate the Earth. They created the first assassins, Adam and Eve, and blessed them with their sixth sense, eagle vision. Desmond's one hope to save the world is to find the central vault located somewhere in modern New England, which was engineered by the first civilization to save the world the second time around. Desmond's entire journey is culminating in this one moment. In order to save the world, he must now dive into the memories of a third assassin, all while evading Templar opposition and racing against an incoming apocalypse. But such tales and destinies are the stuff of revolutions and revolutionaries.